Today we are going to learn a new topic of federalism. Before going into the topic, I would like to recap of power sharing. You have already learned what is power sharing, why power sharing is needed, especially in a democratic country, then how the power has been shared. If you take Belgium and Brussels, in Belgium, Dutch spoken people are more. In Brussels, French spoken people are more. After the Fourth Amendment, they came to a conclusion to share the powers equally to Dutch, French, German language spoken people. At the same time, if you take in the case of Sri Lanka, the majority of the powers used are shared only by Sinhala people. The Sri Lankan government didn't agree to share powers to Sri Lankan Tamil people. So, even though both Belgium and Sri Lanka is a democratic country, the power has not been shared equally when you compare to Belgium. With the connectivity of the topic, now we will learn about federalism. The Latin word fedos, it's nothing but it's a written agreement. What is mean by federalism? Federalism means written agreement between any two government is known as federal government. Federalism means distribution of powers between union and state level of government. In simple words, we will say two or more levels of government. Now let me define the definition of federalism. Federalism is a system of government in which the power is divided between a central authority and various constituent units of the country. Let us take India. India is a federal structure. India has central government, state government and local self-government. Yes, we have three types of government. India is a federal structure, but Sri Lanka is a non-federal structure. No federal structure in Sri Lanka, not following equal power sharing even though it is a democratic country. Next we will move to two levels of government. Government for the entire country that is responsible for the national issues. Government at the state level that function for the everyday concerns. Both the central and state government enjoy their power independent of the other. Central government alone can make decisions on defense, foreign affairs, finance, currency, communication, satellites, etc. The state government can make decision on police, trade, agriculture, commerce, etc. The central government can make laws related to central subjects. The state government can make laws related to the state subjects. Next, the difference between the federal and unitary system. Under the unitary system, either there is only one level of government or the sub-units are subordinate to the central government. The central government can pass on orders to the provincial or the local government. But in a federal system, the central government cannot order the state government to do something. State government has power of its own for which it is not answerable to the central government. Both these governments are separately answerable to the people. Now we will see the detailed differentiation between federal and unitary government. Federal government. There are two or more levels of government. Already I said in India we are following three tiers of government, that is three types of government: central, state and local self-government. Next, in federal government there is a division of powers between different levels of government. State governments are not answerable to the central government. Jurisdiction of government. Central, state cannot be changed unilaterally. Constitution amendment cannot be made with the consent of the states. Courts safeguards and interpret the constitution. If you take the unitary government, only one level of government. there is no division of powers. The provincial government or subunits are answerable to the national government. The central government can make any change, grant powers and take them back from subunits. The central government can make any constitutional amendment. Courts do not have power to safeguard the constitution. Now let me move on the key features of federalism. The first key feature, there are two or more levels of government. If you take example of our country, we have central government, yes, state government, very good, local self government. So there are three types of government. The first key feature is very clear. Next one is each level has its own power or jurisdiction. The second key feature, different types of government govern the same citizens but each tier has its own jurisdiction in specific matters of legislation, taxation and administration. Let me explain it clearly. Same citizens but different jurisdiction. Yes, example of issue of passport. The union government, that is central government, Ministry of External Affairs, overall in charge, playing a major role in issuing the passport. If you want to apply a passport, from the state government you have to get approval, that is getting of license, ration card, PAN card. As per the state government norms, you have to provide and get it, the work to be done to get your passport. Yes, both the government is playing a major role here. Next, the third key features of federalism. The existence and authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. Yes, constitutionally guaranteed. For example, whether A party or B party. If a party not ruling properly, people have the right to change the government. That is, majority of the people support. With the majority of the people's support, we can change the leader or the representative. Now, we are going to see the fourth key features of federalism. The fundamental provisions of the Constitution can be changed only with the mutual consent of both the levels of government. Yes, fundamental provisions cannot be changed unilaterally. India has 29 states. In that, half of the states, that is 15 states, must support to change the law, or otherwise 2/3 of the majority from the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha agree to change the law. So, with the consent of half of the state or majority of the MPs, MLAs support, if we want to change the law, we can change it. Now, we'll move to the fifth key features of federalism. Courts have the power of interpreting the Constitution and the powers of different levels of government. The highest court acts as an adjudicator, that means umpire, of different disputes between different levels of government. Again, I am repeating, courts have the power of interpreting the Constitution and the powers of different levels of government. The highest court acts as an adjudicator of disputes between different levels of government. Yes, courts have the power. We have district courts in district level, high court in state level, Supreme Court for the entire nation. Supreme Court is the head of all the courts. Supreme Court is a major power. It has a major power. Whether state-made laws or central government-made laws, the High Court and the Supreme Court have the powers to interpret. Yes, I think I am clear with the fifth key features of federalism. Any problem between the states, We can take the example of Kaveri issues, Kaveri water issue between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So the Supreme Court has the power to sort out the state level issues. Next, sixth key features of federalism. Sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified for ensuring smooth functioning and financial autonomy. Sources of revenue are specified. Central government. The main sources of income tax are the income tax, custom duties, sales tax, service tax, which is levied on the people of India. If you take state government, the main sources of income: gas, corporate, property tax. So the state and local governments collect tax revenues from the three primary sources. Which are the three primary sources? Yes, income, sales and property tax. Once again, I am explaining the sixth key features of federalism. Main sources of income for the central government, they will be getting the income from the income tax, custom duties, sales tax, service tax, which is levied on the people of India. The state government, the main source of income comes from gas, corporate, property tax, etc. The state and local governments collect tax revenues from the three primary sources: income, sales and property tax. You might be heard right from your family members. They will be asking right whether electricity bill have been paid, land tax has been paid, water tax. So these all the taxes is the revenue for the government. Yes. Now we'll move on to the last seventh key features of federalism. That is objectives of federalism. Dual objectives of federalism. Dual is nothing but two. The federal system safeguards and promotes unity of the country and also accommodates regional diversity. Yes, objectives of federalism. The first and foremost thing is safeguarding. The first object is to safeguard and promote unity of the country. Save the citizens of the country, at the same time promoting unity among the people. Whatever problem faced by the citizens, that should be sought out by the government. For example, we can take the recent issue of Corona, COVID-19. To safeguard the people, the government is taking many steps like 144 Act, lockdown, compulsory mask, social distance. So many advertisements from the TV channels also. Many film actors and many political leaders, they are also giving advertisement to create awareness about corona, to control, to preventive measures. So many steps also taken. Next, why the government is taking many steps like this? Can you guess? Yes, to safeguard the people. At the same time, the government should ensure the unity of the peoples too. That is the first main objectives of federalism. Can we move about the second one? Yes, to accommodate regional diversity. Yes, same our country India is a very good example. In India, Telugu, Malayalam, Tamil, Hindi, Gujarati, Kannada, different language spoken people are living. People belongs to different religions like Hindu, Muslims, Christians, Sikhs, etc. Whether they are rich or poor, higher caste or lower caste, all the people are given equal importance. All their problems are taken into consideration. Yes, to accommodate regional diversity is a very tough task for our country, India. different language people, different culture, different religion based people, different caste based people. Anyway, all are belongs to the citizens of India. It's accommodating the regional diversity. It's given equal values to each and every category. I think I'm very clear to I have explained the objectives of federalism. If you have any doubts, please kindly ask. So, we have few examples of accommodating the 7th key features of federalism. Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Germany, India, Mexico, Switzerland and US have federal government. Next, we move on the next concept. Two crucial aspects of an ideal federalism. Yes, number 1. Government at different levels should agree to some rules of power sharing. They should also trust that each would abide by its part of the agreement. An ideal federal system has both aspects, namely mutual trust and agreement to live together. Next is types of federations. The next concept is types of federation. There are two types of federation. One is holding together federation, the other one is coming together federation. If you take holding together federation, what does mean by holding together federation and which other countries will come under holding together federation? Let me learn. When a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government, it is known as holding together federation. H, right? H holding. You can take an example of India. H, what is the next letter, next alphabetical letter of H? I. So you can keep it, India as a very good example of holding together federation. This is just a clue. So once again, I'll repeat, define about holding together federation. What is holding together federation? When a large country decides to divide its power between the constituent states and the national government, it is known as holding together federation. Example of India, Spain and Belgium. Next, in holding together, the central government tends to be the more powerful when we compared with the state government. Yes, in holding together federation, the central government will be having a more power when you compare to the state government. Next, from holding together federation, next thing, very often different constituent units of the federation have unequal powers, and some units are granted special powers, especially we can say union territories and few states have the special powers. Special power means those states and the union territories directly control over the central government. It cannot be looked after by the state government. Next, all the constituent states usually have equal powers. If you take coming together federation, now I am going to explain about coming together federation. First, we will define about coming together federation. Independent states come together on their own to form a bigger unit. It is known as coming together federation. Once again, I'll repeat. Independent states come together on their own to form a bigger unit. It is known as coming together federation. We can give some examples of your countries like USA, Switzerland and Australia. In coming together federation, all the constituent states usually have equal powers. All the constituents, they will have equal powers. With equal powers. These are the difference between coming together and holding together federations. With that, I conclude today's topic. Today, I taught you what is federalism, the key features of federalism, difference between coming together and holding together federation. Thank you, children. The next class, I am going to explain you about what makes India as a federal country, how is federalism practiced in India, and advantages of decentralization and what is meant by decentralization in India. With that, I'll conclude today's concept. Thank you, children.